The Clockmaker's last gift. That will change how you value time. Before today's story begins, let me ask you one question. If someone told you that you only had 1 year left to live, what would you do differently? Would you work harder? Would you spend more time with your family? Would you finally chase the dream you've been postponing for years? Or would you simply learn to appreciate the ordinary moments you have been overlooking? Today's story is about an old clockmaker who believed that time was never meant to be counted. It was meant to be shared. People thought he was just an old man repairing broken clocks. But after he passed away, the entire town discovered the extraordinary gift he had quietly been giving for over 50 years. A gift more valuable than money, more precious than gold. So, find a comfortable place. Take a deep breath. Relax. And let's travel to a peaceful mountain village in Switzerland in the year 1932. Chapter 1: The Small Shop on Maple Street. Nestled between snow-covered mountains and a crystal-clear lake was the quiet village of Lindenwald. It was the kind of place where everyone knew one another. Children walked safely to school. Neighbors shared fresh bread. Church bells echoed through the valley every morning. Near the village square stood a tiny wooden shop. Above the old door hung a simple sign: Johann Fischer Clockmaker. The shop was small. Its windows displayed clocks of every shape and size. Grandfather clocks, pocket watches, tiny alarm clocks, beautiful cuckoo clocks carved from oak. Whenever someone walked inside, they heard the comforting sound of hundreds of ticking clocks. Tick, tick, tick. It sounded almost like a heartbeat. Johann Fischer was 72 years old. His silver hair was neatly combed. His glasses rested low on his nose. His hands were wrinkled, yet incredibly steady. For nearly 50 years, he had repaired clocks. But people didn't visit only because their clocks were broken. They came because Johann always had time to listen. Chapter 2: Every visitor had a story. Young mothers came with crying children. Farmers stopped by after long days in the fields. Students visited before examinations. Old couples sat beside the fireplace on winter afternoons. Johann listened to everyone. He never rushed anyone. Sometimes, he repaired the clock in only 10 minutes. Then spent another hour talking with its owner. People often wondered, why doesn't he charge more? Johann simply smiled. I repair clocks, but I hope I also repair tired hearts. Chapter 3: The Curious Boy. One spring morning, a 12-year-old boy named Lucas entered the shop. He had recently lost his father. Since then, he rarely smiled. His mother worked long hours at the village bakery. Lucas spent most afternoons alone. He placed a broken pocket watch on Johann's desk. It belonged to my father. It stopped working. Johann gently picked it up. He carefully opened the back. He examined every tiny gear. Then he looked at Lucas. Would you like to learn how it works? Lucas looked surprised. You mean you would teach me? Johann smiled. Every clock tells 2 stories. One about time, and another about patience. Chapter 4: Lessons Beyond Clocks. Every Saturday, Lucas visited the workshop. Johann taught him how to clean tiny gears, how to replace worn springs, how to polish brass, how to listen carefully. Never force a broken clock, Johann would say. Understand why it stopped. Then he added quietly, people are often the same. Lucas remembered every word. As months passed, he laughed again. He smiled more often. The village noticed. Chapter 5: The Secret Notebook. One snowy evening, Johann became ill. Knowing his time was growing short, he handed Lucas a worn leather notebook. "This is my greatest treasure." Lucas opened it carefully. Inside, there were no business accounts, no lists of expensive customers. Instead, each page contained names. Beside every name, Johann had written one simple sentence. Lost his wife in 1948. Dreams of becoming a teacher. Feels lonely every Christmas. Needs encouragement. Always worries about money. Lucas looked confused. "What is this?" Johann smiled softly. "My real work. I repaired clocks, so I could spend time repairing people." Chapter 6: The Last Bell. Several weeks later, the church bells rang slowly across Lindenwald. Johann Fischer had peacefully passed away. The entire village attended his funeral. Children, teachers, farmers, doctors, shopkeepers, even travelers returned to pay their respects. No one realized how deeply one quiet man had touched their lives. Chapter 7: The Final Gift. After the funeral, the mayor gathered everyone in the village hall. Johann's lawyer opened a wooden box. Inside were dozens of envelopes, each addressed to someone in the village. Every letter contained personal words of encouragement, advice, gratitude, forgiveness, hope. One elderly woman burst into tears. She whispered, "He remembered." Another man smiled through his tears. "I thought no one noticed." Lucas received the final envelope. Inside, there was only one sentence. Time becomes meaningful only when it is given to others. Along with the letter, Johann had left him the workshop. Chapter 8: Years later, Lucas became the new clockmaker. But he never hurried his customers. Like Johann, he repaired clocks slowly, listened carefully, shared tea, remembered birthdays, encouraged children, helped lonely neighbors. Visitors often asked, "What makes your shop so special?" Lucas simply pointed toward the wall. There hung Johann's old wooden sign. "Every person deserves your time." Final reflection. We often think success is measured by money, or titles, or achievements. But perhaps the greatest measure of a life is how much time we willingly give to others. Because every minute we spend listening, helping, encouraging, or simply being present becomes part of someone else's story forever. Moral of the story: time is the most valuable gift we possess. When we give our time with kindness, patience, and love, we leave behind something far greater than wealth. We leave behind hope. The greatest legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's the time you invest in others while you're here. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this journey through the Swiss village of Lindenwald and found inspiration in Johann's life, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that kindness and time are life's greatest gifts.